In a world that demands to see you, choosing to remain invisible is a quiet form of revolution. We live in an era of the digital panopticon, a glass house where the curtains are always drawn back and the light is always on. To exist, we are told, is to be seen. To be happy is to have a photo that proves it. Yet there is a group of people who move through this landscape like shadows. They have profiles, they follow, they like, they observe, but their own face is a ghost in the machine. They are the ones with the sunset profile pictures, the abstract art, or the perpetually empty grid. To the outside world, this silence is often mislabeled as shyness or insecurity. But if you look closer, beneath the surface of the unposted photo, you'll find something much deeper than a lack of confidence. You'll find a complex psychological fortress, a sanctuary built to protect the soul from the erosion of the digital age. Think of social media as a stage where the performance never ends. For most, the act of posting a selfie is an attempt at self-objectification, the process of stepping outside of your own body and looking at yourself through the eyes of a stranger. You aren't just you anymore. You are a product to be appraised, a set of pixels to be judged. For the person who refuses to post, this process feels like an emotional tax they are no longer willing to pay. They are experiencing what psychologists call the burden of performance. Every time we upload a photo, we aren't just sharing a moment, we're submitting a version of ourselves for public audit. We wait for the likes to validate our worth and the comments to confirm our beauty. But for some, this cycle triggers a profound sense of identity dissonance. They feel a split between the person who lives, breathes, and feels, and the static, frozen image that people are double-tapping. They realize that a photo can capture a face, but it often murders the moment. This avoidance is frequently a response to micro-traumas of the past. Perhaps it was a comment on a childhood photo that lingered too long in the mind. Or maybe it's the ambiguous loss of privacy, the feeling that once your face is online, it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the algorithm, to the data brokers, and to the selective memories of people you haven't spoken to in a decade. By staying faceless, these individuals are reclaiming their internal locus of evaluation. They are deciding that their value is not a commodity to be traded for engagement. They are choosing to be a silent scroller, an observer who treats the digital world not as a diary, but as a window. They are protecting their digital self from the social comparison theory, refusing to let their raw, unedited reality be measured against everyone else's highlight reels. But there is a darker side to this silence, a wall that doesn't just protect, but also isolates. It's the invisible wall of self-protection, where the fear of being misunderstood becomes so great that it's safer to not be seen at all. This wall is built from the bricks of hypervigilance. When you've spent a lifetime being hyper-aware of how others perceive you, perhaps because of a childhood where your appearance was a topic of family debate, or maybe where your value was tied to your achievements, the camera lens starts to feel like a judge's gavel. To post a photo is to invite a verdict, and if you never post, the court can never reach a decision. You remain unjudgeable. But as we peel back the layers of this digital asceticism, we find a phenomenon known as emotional erosion. We are the first generation in history to witness our own lives in the third person. We go to a concert and see it through a screen. We eat a meal and see it as a composition. The person who doesn't post isn't necessarily hiding. Often, they are simply being. They are rediscovering the sacred private, the idea that some parts of us are so precious they lose their magic the moment they are shared with 1,000 strangers. They are learning that it is okay to be a mystery. It is okay to be a book that is not for sale. So if you are the one who stays behind the lens, know that your invisibility is not a lack of being. It is a choice to keep your light for the people who are actually standing in the room with you. In the end, the most beautiful parts of your life will never be captured in a square frame. They will live in the quiet spaces between the posts, in the moments no one liked, and in the person you become when no one is watching.